This is the Minor Jackass League.
When you see this, you're gonna love it.
Bush League.
Scooter drop. Scooter drop.
This is a taking.
Let's begin. Yeah, I guess we're getting, the top of the bottle of his, and then... Let's begin.
Oh, shit.
Shoot the shit. Now let's begin.
Alright, cool. Alright, you ready, big dog?
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Welcome back to the Shoot the Shit podcast with DC. I'm your host, Dustin Cardenas, or DC, whatever you want to call me. This is episode 5. And today, my guest is a very special guest, the one and only Mr. Shane Bartos, aka Sugar Shane, whatever you want to call him.
Yes, sir.
He has other nicknames, but I'm trying to keep it PG for this episode. We could go rated R, but we'll just go PG for this episode for right now.
Sir.
So I forgot to. I gotta set my timer real quick. Make sure. So you're already messing me up on the. Hold on. Timer 45. Oh damn it! I screwed up. There we go. All right, we got the timer set for 45 minutes on here.
Oh Lord.
And I got to go to my podcast outlines, all the questions I want to ask him and topics we're going to bring up in there in the next 30 minutes to 45 minutes. We got someone filming us right now, posting us on social media.
That's good.
But you can film. It's fine.
More views for us.
Yeah. So the first topic I got to bring up. So who's winning Sunday?
I would have to go with the Bucks.
You can go. You tell Tom Brady the GOAT.
Yeah. I feel like he's gonna prove everybody wrong. He can do it with that Belichick. He'll be okay. So I think I'll go with the Bucks.
The Bucks.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Their defense is legit. Their offense is legit. So Bucks.
Bucks. All right. Yeah. I'm rooting for the GOAT too. I'm rooting for you, Brady. If you see this.
Yeah.
Shout out Tom Brady and the Bucks. Even though I'm not a Mahomes hater, I just would like to see Brady set all the records.
Right. Yeah. Enjoy with that Belichick.
Yeah. And hopefully I'm a mom squares. I can win $800 again.
Right.
With all the numbers. My mom got some squares going on. So yeah. All right. So anyway, we're just skipping from topic to topic, going from place to place. So. I didn't really say this in the intro, but this is my cousin, and he's been a sports fan, for his whole life. And we're just kind of discussing different topics of sports and old sports stories, and then whenever I used to play in high school and junior high and stuff too. But this guy right here, he's been a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan his whole life, so I want to kind of get his opinion on where that franchise is going, because the past 15 years it just hasn't been good.
Yeah,
or so
the past 20 years.
20 years. They hadn't made a Super Bowl since '95.
Yeah, so it's a long time coming. I seen the downfall of it. I seen the oh
God damn, I knew that was coming. Damn it. Stop filming. Okay, we're back. As you see, a little new setup. This is what I should have done in the beginning. I had the mics clamped to the edge of the table, and luckily I caught that damn thing. And luckily it was just the clamp that fell, not the damn mic. Otherwise might have broke the damn mic. But we're back. We're on the subject of the Dallas Cowboys.
yes,
Cowboys. So just kind of where were we at? Just kind of talking about where do you think they need to go to kind of improve the team? Like what's lacking, and is it the coach or is it Jerry Jones like everybody says?
to me it's the defense / Jerry Jones. He just needs to stay out of the front office with the decision making. I mean, it's just pitiful. I mean, I seen the good years and I seen the terrible years, and this past year was probably a terrible year. Not because of Prescott's injury, but the defense gave up so many points, so many yards per game. It's just, luckily they fired their defensive coach, so hopefully we'll pick up next year and we'll go from there.
Okay, yeah. So like I said, he's the diehard Cowboys fan all his life.
Yes.
It was nice in the early '90s when they were winning all the Super Bowls and stuff.
Of course.
But hasn't really seen the same glory in the past 25 years.
No.
But like I said, he's the diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. We could talk. This could be a whole podcast just talking about the Cowboys and everything.
But I will say one more thing before we go to the next subject. I think they should trade Prescott for Watson.
Yeah, you're saying that you would trade Prescott for Watson.
I would, because Watson obviously wants to Houston. He's got a big contract. Prescott wants a big contract. So when you pay Watson, I'm not saying Prescott's a bad quarterback, but athletic-wise, Watson is the man. And I hate to say it because he is a Texan, because I hate the Texans. but he needs to go somewhere. And I think if he goes to Dallas, it'd be the perfect fit with the wide receivers. With Zeke, good fit.
Good fit, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good segue into the next subject, because now we're going to talk about what the hell's going on in Houston. I'm a Houston fan. Astros, Rockets, and Texans, and it's just been like the whole sports scene of Houston is just like collapsing in front of our eyes. Harden leaves, and then Watson wants out, and then the Astros. I'm sorry to say, I'm an Astros fan. Shane, you can tell he's wearing his Astros Altuve World Series jersey. Yeah, it should be, instead of World Series champions, World Series cheaters. I'm sorry, I'm one of those. Because like the one time we finally win the World Series, it was tainted. But I'm still an Astros fan. But like Springer leaves, and I'm sorry to say, I think just the dynasty's over. I don't know. We're gonna have good teams.
I think the dynasty isn't over because they're gonna sign Correa to a long-term deal. I hope. Altuve's there for the rest of his career. Bregman's out there for the rest of his career. If they surround themselves with some younger players, some core players like Correa, like he proved last year in the playoffs that he's one of the best hitters in the game still, and of course one of the best defensive shortstops in the game. If they sign him to a long-term deal, they'll be fine. What they're lacking is in the outfield. Of course, Springer wanted out. They let him go. I mean, I would too for that much money. I would go somewhere else too. But I think they're gonna find a way to maybe trade for somebody during the season. And they also have Miles Straw. Miles Straw he's a great defensive player. Offensive wise, he's not that consistent, but I think having him for a whole year will bring his demeanor up and his confidence up, and he'll be a great hitter. I mean, as a leadoff guy, Springer was one of the best leadoff guys. You can't replace that. But I think they'll find a way to be back in the playoffs this coming year. But they're gonna have a hard time trying to make the World Series again.
Yeah.
I mean, JV's still out for the rest of the year. Greinke, he's getting older, but the young pitchers are coming up. So I'm looking forward to an interesting year this year.
Yeah, so because especially with if they can also just kind of create their own talent, like with Bregman, how he came up through the minor league system and everything. Like they're always kind of what's the right term for it? To condition the players, or I can't think of the right term. Whenever you bring them up through the minor leagues.
Yeah. There's a couple of players that I've been looking at that could make the roster this year. That's in the outfield, which would be pretty good for us. They could bring back Jake Marisnick for a couple of years just to progress a prospect up in the minors to get him ready for major leagues. So we'll see. We'll see where all this goes.
Okay. So what do you want to say on the Rockets?
The Rockets, I mean, you said not to be a hater, so I'm trying to limit to what I say.
Hold on, before he even says anything further, he used to be a Rockets fan in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then, because there's a picture of him with a Hakeem Olajuwon jersey on, but he always denies it.
I used to be a Rockets fan, but then I wised up and became a Spurs fan. And so basketball, I keep up with it, but not like I used to. But I do keep up with the off-season stuff and stuff like that. And
Harden,
well, he got what he wanted.
Yeah, it was the same situation. I would have let him go too. He wasn't happy where he was, so he wasn't gonna actually make any effort for the team. So just let him go and just try to rebuild.
I think he went to a team that's already stacked as it was. So adding him is dynamic what they have going now. But I have been keeping up with the Rockets since they released him, and they have done a lot better over the past 12 or so games.
They got their ass whooped last night.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. But so I didn't see that. But I've been, like I said, I've been keeping up with them for a little while. I saw they're improving game by game, which is okay. They got a young coach, so hopefully he'll stick around for a couple of years and go from there. So we'll see.
And I don't even want to ask you about the Texans. I ain't got nothing nice to say about them. Hey, this is our own version of Skip and Shannon. Come on, Skip.
The Texans.
The Texans.
They'll never make a Super Bowl.
Yeah, God, we were better off in the XFL, and look what happened with that.
Because their front office is a joke. I feel sorry for. What I'm about to say is that I've always been a J.J. Watt hater. Not because of who he is, because everybody thinks he's God, and he's
That for the team he plays for.
yes, and he over the past couple of years he's done nothing but get hurt, injuries after injury after injury. Well, supposedly he wants out.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is. I would like to see him go somewhere else, finish out his career on a winning team.
Yeah, he's good. Two-time defensive player of the year.
Definitely, he's still that capable of a guy to do some stuff. But I would like to see him go contend for a championship. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys. He could go there.
You hear that, Jerry Jones? You heard it first from Sugar Shane right here.
I would open my arms to him, no doubt, because he's extremely talented. So, yeah, that's what I say about J.J. Watt. Go somewhere where he's wanted. Pittsburgh, maybe with his brother. I mean,
that'd be a good fit.
Yeah, that'd be a really good fit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's
Okay.
all season, the best part of sports.
Right, the best part.
That's what I like. It's all season stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So I just want to say, we're going for jump into the next subject is, so I heard, you told me you were the one that texted me about 2 weeks ago, said, hey, my boy was on Undisputed a couple weeks ago, and you told me to look up the video on YouTube, but I still haven't found it, with Lil Wayne being on Undisputed. He's a big Lil Wayne fan. So I just want to say, what was the whole thing with that anyway? What happened?
Well, of course, Trump pardoned him.
It must be that nice to be that big of a rapper and have the president of the United States pardoning you from jail.
Right. And then the next day he was on Undisputed. So he's a big sports buff.
Right, yeah.
Of course he loved the Packers. I mean, he's from New Orleans. He's very outspoken. People don't give him enough credit. But he's a very smart guy. He loves his sports, like I said. I've always liked Lil Wayne.
And he skates too. So hit me up, Lil Weezy. We can skate together at the Flatonia skate park.
Yeah. Hope you're watching this.
Yeah. That's his nickname, right, Lil Weezy?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. Yeah. So anyway, I also want to mention this guy right here is the main reason why I watch professional wrestling. He got me into it. And I think it was like 96. I was over at his house one Monday night, and this was during the Monday Night War with Raw and Nitro. And I started watching WCW first. I didn't watch WWF first until like 98, whenever Stone Cold became champion, and then DX was all big and all that. But I remember I was over at his house one Monday night, and he's like, hey man, you want to watch wrestling? And I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't know if you remember the story.
I was raised with it. My dad watched it whenever he was young, and that was one of me and my dad's bonds that we shared, is that he loved watching wrestling with me, so I just carried that tradition to his destiny. So
yeah, I was over at his house a Monday night, and where he was like, hey man, I'm gonna put it on wrestling. And I knew who Hulk Hogan was, because everybody knew who Hulk Hogan was. He was like the John Cena or the Rock of the 90s, like he was the staple of professional wrestling. Even if you didn't watch wrestling, you knew who Hulk Hogan was.
Yeah.
And so that's whenever I think Hulk Hogan turned into a bad guy with the NWO, and that's whenever I got into it. And honestly, I was instantly hooked. I haven't watched it since.
People dog it, but it's entertainment.
Right. Yeah.
It's not as good as it once was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
The era back in our day.
Attitude Era.
Yeah, the Attitude Era was unbelievable good. And I'm a big Stone Cold fan. I love The Rock. Now these days, it's too gimmicky. It's too
PG era.
Yeah.
It's targeted towards kids now.
But growing up our age, still go to live events whenever we could. I mean, you would see our age of guys there, and that's pretty crazy to see 30, 40-year-olds go there.
It's still real to us, damn it!
Yeah.
But I got a quick story from, I told you about this the other day, but I shout out Triple H if you're watching this, because this is a DX story. It has to do with our football team. I was in junior high, and we were at the pep rally for our varsity football team, and I think we were playing Weimar. Yeah. And I don't want to name drop any names because I'm not exactly sure who it was, but like one of the football players got on the mic towards the end of the pep rally. He's like, "Yeah, everybody, we just want to say we got 2 words for Weimar," and the whole football team stood up and they all yelled, "Suck it!" and did the crotch chop. And no one really said anything, at the pep rally until they did get in trouble. Like a couple of days later, they had to like run sprints for doing that, by the coaches. The coaches made them do that because it was inappropriate.
Back then, they said cuss on TV.
Yeah. Well, they on AEW they say shit a lot. Oh, okay. They do cuss. Because they're trying to like push, I guess, like more cussing. And
I haven't really gotten into AEW. I watched a few episodes with Dustin, but it's okay. I'm glad that they finally have something other than WWE
to compete with. Well, they've had Impact, but they've been such on a small scale, though.
So it's good for entertainment.
Yeah. And Chris Jericho, shout out. I just want to say the rivalry with Orange Cassidy was brilliant. I love that shit. So moving on, and this is I just want to say, well, I do, Mox, I do. Well, I do. We always quote Varsity Blues. That movie is pretty epic with us and shit. And then got a nipple ring, earring, and his titty. And Mike Epps, shout out Mike Epps. We always quote the Friday movies and all his like viral YouTube videos and shit.
That's one thing that me and Justin have in common a lot is movies that we both like. We can get up in the morning and I can text him a quote. He texts that. We can go all day with text messages.
Who the fuck are you? I'm Cookie.
But it's crazy.
Yeah. So we're not gonna just name drop, or not name drop, but like just quote all the quotes we say. But that's just letting y'all know like all the quotes that we do and everything.
Bits and pieces of it.
And just now we're kind of moving on to video games, sport video games.
Okay.
There was this back in the day, like my house was kind of like the hangout spot of all like the neighborhood kids and shit.
Right.
And they would always come over, and also Trey's house too. Like we'd always go over there, play basketball. And whenever I had a basketball goal, we were always playing basketball with like all the kids in school and everything. And I had triple play baseball for I think the PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1, yeah. And I remember like Shane would always throw this pitch. It was a slider that like if you didn't swing, it was a strike. But every time you would swing, you couldn't hit it. So that was like, it was like a glitch in the game. And I remember like one of the kids be like, "Is that all you throw, Shane? That all you throw?" And he's like, "Well, hey, if it works right." And it would be like, you can't do nothing about it.
I think I figured it out. I think whenever I pitched the pitch back then, you can control the ball with the joystick, and so I think that's how I did it.
Well, see, I don't know if the PlayStation 1 had a joystick. Okay. I think it was like you hit the directional pad and like to show like just pitch it outside. Okay. And like every time you throw a slider and you don't swing, it's a strike. But every time you would swing, you couldn't hit it.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a glitch in the game or what.
I don't know, but yeah. And I'm 38. I still play video games because I have CP, which I was born with, so that keeps me entertained. Recently got a PS5, love it, recommend it. Good luck trying to get one because it took me forever to get one. I probably got one.
Hey, like I said, I saw on Google that Walmart was supposed to release them at like 3 o'clock today.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, people probably waiting in line for that.
It's all the bots probably trying to get it online. But yeah, I struggled, but I finally got one.
Yeah. So what game are you playing right now?
Right now I'm playing NBA 2K21.
Okay. So you're playing the basketball game until the baseball game comes.
Yeah, I just pre-ordered the baseball game this morning, so of course I gotta wait a couple more months to play baseball. So
yeah, all right.
All I play is sports because if PlayStation is watching this, make a controller for disabled people.
They used to have like the Nintendo, the Sega they had the arcade style joysticks.
I get that, but make it official from Sony.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Sony never had come up with one
for PlayStation.
For PlayStation.
Okay.
So people like me that have trouble with their hands, I can't play Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything requires to shoot with the trigger button or anything like that because I have trouble with that.
With the R2s and
the R2, yeah, R2.
Okay, yeah.
So PlayStation, if you watch this.
You hear that first? PlayStation just got called out by Sugar Shane. I want to, since no one's here, Big Dick Sugar. Keep it R-rated.
Yeah. Please do something with that.
Yeah. For Sugar Shane over here.
I would appreciate it.
Yeah. So moving on, there's just stories too, like your little coaching career you had in summer basketball league. Whenever I played basketball in high school. My freshman, sophomore, and junior year. I wasn't in athletics my senior year, but one summer league Shane was our coach, and we played like a summer basketball league here around like Schulenburg and Flatonia. Like we said, we went to Columbus.
Yeah,
right?
we went to Columbus.
Okay,
a couple times.
Yeah, I got to play with like Sean Willis and like all your people in your class and stuff. So it was pretty interesting.
That was probably the first time that I actually got to like be hands-on with the guys. I think that's why I love coaching now. I actually got introduced to a youth baseball team in here in where we live at. Shout out to Central Texas Storm. They're like a summer ball program. They got me involved with it this year, so hopefully I'll be able to return next year and help out some more. So
yeah, because you helped out with Coach Boatwright. You were kind of like the assistant coach. That was your
manager.
Like a manager, okay. But that was your sophomore year, or
freshman through senior year.
Okay, all right,
my whole.
And I want to say that one of the years that you were the assistant, you were on like one of our best basketball teams that we ever had. That they made it. I think they might have tied it. Like in 2019 here in Flatonia, they made it to the regional, either the regional quarterfinals or the semifinals. Yeah, and that's the furthest Flatonia's ever made it in basketball.
I actually remember that day. I think about that all the time. First time I've ever seen a team very athletic against us, and they took it to us.
Yeah,
they were very, very, very well talented players.
Now, do you remember whenever, I know me and Trey watched this a lot, but the NBA Jam session in 1993, that videotape I used to have?
Yeah, I remember that. Like Dustin said, we're more like brothers.
Yeah.
We're cousins, but we're more like brothers.
Brother from another mother.
Because we have a lot in common. Of course, he likes different teams than I do, so we bicker back and forth about that. But whenever he was younger, he's a very small little dude, and I think he got inspired by the NBA Jam sessions.
Yeah,
Spud Webb and people like that.
Hey, and Allen Iverson, that's my guy right there. Like, I3, baby.
That was like 5'3" and 4 and people like that.
What are we talking about? We talking about practice, not the game. Practice.
Yeah, so
not the game that I die for. But no, Allen Iverson, all the point guards that I really look up to, But
that was all time.
Hey, shout out Akeem Olajuwon. If you see this, I still want to get your autograph. The dream, baby. But I still remember this too, buying it at Walmart in LaGrange. I was with my mom, and it was called NBA Jam Session in 1993, and it was just like a compilation of like music videos with like, NBA highlights from like the early 90s, And I remember, like whenever me and Trey would play basketball, it's like we would watch that videotape and we get pumped up.
Right.
We would get pumped up to go play, and like, we had basketball goals where we could lower it so we could dunk on it and stuff. And I remember this one time you were there. And you remember the Robert Horry dunk?
Yeah.
In that video, like in the tape, in the video, Robert Horry goes up for a dunk, but it hits off the back of the rim, but he hangs on to the rim, and the ball just pops straight up. So it comes right back up to him while he's hanging on the rim, and he grabs it with his right hand and slams it back in.
See, I'm very.
You'd have to see it. I'd have to show it to you. I have it on one of my hard drives.
Of course you do.
I downloaded it off of YouTube.
Of course you do.
Yeah. But we were playing like a slam dunk contest one time with Trey.
Yeah.
And you were the judge, and me and Trey, and we had that little rubber bouncing ball, so it was easier for us to dunk.
Yes.
And I remember I did the Robert Horry dunk, but not intentionally. I went for a dunk, and the ball popped straight up, and I was hanging on the rim, and it came back to me, and I grabbed it and I dunked it like that. He was like, Dustin won.
Yeah.
He's the winner of the slam dunk contest, and Trey was all pissed off. Yeah, I was tight.
Yeah.
Like, what chances that would actually happen? Like, we'd always watch that,
Yeah.
That's what it's always called, the Robert Horry dunk. And now I'm just kind of telling stories from. And then I was telling you this the other day, but remember like the Randolph half court shot? Yeah,
I remember that. Like going back to my high school days, we had some awesome teams.
But I remember I told my mom about this, and basically the story is we played Randolph here in Flatonia. Yeah. My mom was like, "Hey, you want to go to the game? I'm going to go to the game." And I think you were either like the manager, like you said, or you were just there.
Yeah, I was the manager.
Okay, yeah. So and you were playing Randolph. And my mom's like, you don't want to. I was like, nah, I don't really feel like going. Just go. So my mom ends up going by herself. So Yeah, but then, so I'm just at the house, and then when it was over, she comes back to my house, and she's like, "Oh my God, you missed it. We hit a half-court shot to win the game." And I think, if I remember right, it was Paul Saunders that hit it.
Yeah, he was very, very good at three-point shots.
Yeah, well, you told me it was kind of like a quarter. It wasn't really a half-court shot. It was kind of more in.
Yeah, it was more in than half-court, but
it was still a last-second shot to win the game.
It was still a last-second shot against a district opponent.
Was Randolph District?
Yeah, Randolph was district.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I know they were they're more towards San Antonio.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Military school.
Yeah. And then we're just kind of rambling, talking about old stories now. But you remember whenever I played JV, it was a road game, and I can see the gym, but I don't remember the team. It may be like Randolph Carmine or something. Or not Randolph Carmine. What was it? What's Round Top Carmine?
Round Top Carmine.
Or maybe somewhere around there. But I remember like I was on fire that game JV. I hit like 6 threes, and I remember like the coach yelling at us like, guard him, don't let him shoot, like the opposing coach yelling at the team.
Vaguely.
Yeah. He remember, he's like, you didn't hit 6 threes. I don't remember that shit. But no, I'm not bullshitting. I hit like 6 threes. I was on fire that game. I remember that because that was like my best game I ever had.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then what else? And so we already talked about the Super Bowl. You're going. Me and him were going for Brady. But as long as the numbers match up, if I can win 800, that'd be good.
Yeah, Brady seems the best bet.
Yeah.
Mahomes is good. In Kansas City, good, but you're talking about Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it without Belichick.
Yeah.
I mean, not too many players go from one conference to another conference that go to the Super Bowl the first year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable with the young team too.
Yeah, and I've always been a Bucks fan.
Jumping
on that bandwagon.
Mike Allstott.
Mike Allstott and Warren Sapp.
Oregon.
Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson. All right, the last kind of subject I have is college sports. Like, I know you're an A&M fan.
Oh, yeah, I'm a diehard A&M fan.
I want to say he was going for Longhorns back in the day. He jumped ship, too. Tell us about A&M and Dat Nguyen and all that, how that came about.
Where do I begin? I was a Longhorn fan at one time. Mm-hmm. I remember them playing Nebraska in the Big 12 championship with James Brown, the quarterback. Mm-hmm. And
who?
James Brown.
James Brown?
Yes.
When was this? This is the 90s or
before? 90s.
Okay, I don't remember James Brown. I remember Ricky Williams.
No, James Brown was the quarterback.
Okay, all right. All right.
Yeah, and from then on, I don't know how I got introduced to A&M. Oh, a girl I went to school with that graduated in Flatonia. She went to A&M and became friends with a girl from Rungy, and comes to find out she was Dat Nguyen's girlfriend. And most people are like, who the hell is Dat Nguyen? Well, he's the first Asian American to get drafted in the NFL. So that should tell you right there. Look him up, Google him. There's all kinds of stories. But anyway, he was a starting linebacker for A&M back in the 90s. Very good linebacker, of course. Won many awards. Well, she introduced me to him, and I just thought he was a great guy off the field, on the field. I followed him from his college career to his NFL career.
But he got drafted by the Cowboys, so it was a match fit. Like, he goes from Shane's team A&M to the NFL team, the Cowboys.
He got drafted by the Cowboys in the late rounds, and I was like very surprised. And from then on, I just kept up with him to the end of his career. And he became a coach for the Cowboys, and he's done a lot for me and my family. He always answered the phone calls, always answered text messages whenever I text him. He's just a great guy in general. So now he's a Chick-fil-A owner in Dallas, and hands down, very proud of him. Very, very honored to know a man like that. So his friendship means the world to me, and hopefully he'll see this.
Yeah. Do you still stay in contact with him? Or
I do stay in contact with him every once in a while.
Okay.
I text him on his birthday, like special holidays, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, stuff like that. Father's Day, of course, because he's got 5 kids, so he's pretty busy.
Okay.
Plus Chick-fil-A, working for Chick-fil-A, it's a busy business, so he's hardly have any time. So, but we do stay in contact with each other.
Okay.
So.
All right, man. I guess that will. I don't have any other questions. You got anything you just want to say or anything? Go Bucks.
Go Astros this year. Hopefully we'll make it to the World Series again. And if not, it was our year.
Well, hey, it's always next year.
It's always next year.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, just like I said, this will conclude episode 5 of the Shoot the Shit podcast with DC. I'm your host, Dustin Cardenas, DC, whatever you want to call me. And yeah, Shane, thanks for letting me come over and set this up and do this over here for my podcast that I just recently started.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, guys. Later.
Later.